headed into the fourth of our 5 races here this evening. It is for the 125cc micro sprints. Field being pushed off now. This class is growing again, Mike. We remember some years ago, where 30 to 35 car fields were normal, and then it kind of shrank over time. But it's now seems to be on the rebound. A lot of good young drivers, got some veterans still sprinkled throughout the field, and this has always been one of my favorites. It's a very good competitive class.
So I was going to say the racing in this class has been spectacular this year. You just never know who's going to win.
A lot of drivers capable, that's for sure. We've seen some of the young lions like Bradley Brown. He's got 2 wins so far this season, and Dave Grube, I believe 3 victories already this year. Jesse Maurer back at the head of the points. Starting lineup for this one has the 7R, Curtis R. Miller on the pole, and joining him on the front row, the 90 of Sonny Schweitzer.
Row number 2, the 7 of Derek Miller, and the 29 of Ryan Wilson.
19, Kyle Hanley, and the 23, Bradley Brown, are row number 3.
Row number 4 has got the 75 of Mark Yoder and the 72 of Ken Miller, driving a car that looks very similar to the one that just won.
3D Dave Grube and the 35 Shane Braxton in row number 5.
Row 6 has the point leader Jesse Maurer and the 21 and the 2 of Felicia Curlin.
9C Darren Miller and the 18S Nick Swigert make up row 7.
Starting 15th is the 34 of Derek Eckenrode, and outside row number 8 is the 9 of Brianna Gerhardt.
The 5 of Devin Garman will start 17th. 36 Dan Braun Jr. lines up 18th.
It's an all Wampold, row number 10. Jimmy Wampold on the inside and the 55X, and on the outside the 59J of Walt Wampold.
56 Zach Hollinger will start 21st. The number 8 of Ashley Case goes 22nd.
Samantha Garman rounds out the field in the 83, starting 23rd.
23 cars set to take the green.
Looks like we are ready to go.
Curtis R. Miller, Sonny Schweitzer are the front row. Derek Miller, Ryan Wilson in row 2. Racing off corner number 4. Green flag in the air. We're underway.
Cars just scatter. They fan out in this division so quickly as everybody tries to gain as much as they can on that opening lap, much like the sportsmen.
Ryan Wilson charging by Sonny Schweitzer to take over second position. Wilson will now try to track down the leader, Curtis R. Miller, the teenager out of Mertztown, Pennsylvania, setting the pace with Wilson hot on his heels. Bradley Brown is 4th, the 23 of Brown coming after Sonny Schweitzer. That's the battle for 3rd. And Ken Miller, you talked about him in that red 72. Kenny already 5th as Bradley Brown takes over 3rd spot. There's the battle for the lead, though, the front-running duo. Curtis R. Miller is the race leader, the 7R, chased by the 29, Ryan Wilson, and they are about to be joined by the leader's uncle.
Things are getting, we got a car in the backstretch wall,
Whoa,
and now we got a car over.
2 of them actually over.
Yeah. 55 of Jimmy Wampold and Zach Hollinger in the 56, flipping on the backstretch. And basically what was happening there is they were racing right in front of the leader, trying, I think in one sense, to get high enough so that the leader wouldn't be slowed down by him, but in the other sense, trying to keep racing themselves.
First yellow with 5 laps down. There's the race leader.
He just barely missed it.
Wow. Yeah, Miller dashing under that wreck as it was happening.
You can see the end result there. Some damaged material, no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. Both cars now back on all 4 wheels. Drivers, we're told, okay. 56 of Zach Hollinger.
The tough thing with this division, Barry, is you do have so many young drivers or new drivers that are coming into it. They're not quite up to speed with the drivers that are out there right now turning these very quick laps at the front of the field. So you have a big gap in experience between the front of the field and the tail end of the field, and that's why they got into lap traffic so quick, and that's why it seems like the leaders are so much faster than the cars they're coming up on.
We got a couple of other cars now stopping on the racetrack. not too far from the site of that crash. The 5, Devin Garmin, and the 83 of Samantha Garmin. Also sitting motionless out there. CountrysideAutos.com, one of the supporters of these telecasts.
Another good time for Countryside to have some spare micro sprints sitting around.
Yeah, a couple of more teams maybe in the market to replace their race cars after tonight. I want to give a call to see the 56 who was involved. Unfortunately, there they go. Wampole going over, and he just lifted that 56 car up in the air.
And I think that could have been worse, because if they would have kept going that way, the 56 would have just launched and been thrown.
Yeah, want to, as mentioned, give a call to Zach Hollinger and his family-run race team. They were collecting items, building care packages for the local service people who are deployed in Iraq, Afghanistan, and the Horn of Africa. They, for several weeks, Zach and his team collected those items, put the care packages together, and then I think the holiday weekend, the 4th of July, 5th of July, were the final days where items would be collected, and the Hollingers then put those care packages together and sent them overseas to the troops. So very, very nice deal. 5 laps on the board, 5 down, 20 laps still to go here in the 125cc main event. The 34, yeah, you see the SpongeBob machine of Derek Eckenrode. There, SpongeBob on the hood.
He looks quite frightened.
Yeah, he probably saw those two cars flipping in midair. SpongeBob got a little bit excited. Eckenrode, just a couple of years ago, when these Cable 11 telecasts began here at the Clyde, Eckenrode won, I believe, twice in that inaugural season, 2 of the televised events.
And he was really fast that year, and it just shows how quickly the sport can turn, because he went from so quick, and it just seems like they struggle, and when they do have a good run, it always seems to fall just a little short with some kind of mechanical issue or something completely out of their control. Looks like we're ready to go next time, Barry. Curtis R. Miller at the front of the field. Ryan Wilson going to try to make the move around, potentially take the victory. Ken Miller wants to join the fray as well.
Should be an interesting restart. Bradley Brown also there. Bradley, a 2-time feature winner this year. He's in the 4th spot. Looking pretty strong as well. Dave Groob, Shane Braxton, and Jesse Maurer, all among the top 5 or so in the point standings. They are slicing their way toward the head of the field.
What a race between Wilson and Miller, just splitting the lap car. Neither of them flinched.
That is the battle right there on your screen for the runner-up spot. Kenny Miller will grab that position out of corner number 2. And he now, and I misspoke a little bit earlier saying Kenny was the leader's uncle. He is a cousin to Curtis Miller's dad. So it is all in the family, so to speak, with the Millers. But we'll get the relationships straight here. Curtis R. out front. Kenny Miller in second now.
And they're pulling away. They've opened up quite an advantage over Wilson, who's holding back Brown and Schweitzer, while Groob, Maurer, and Braxton work their way into the battle. And Miller's actually, or I should say Curtis Miller, is actually pulling away from Ken Miller. He's opening up about 5 car lengths on him for a comfortable advantage, but now they come up on the slower car of Ashley Case, and Miller's got to try to work his way around her.
Yeah, I think this could really be a tale of inexperience versus experience. Curtis R. was last year's Rookie of the Year in this division. And, of course, Ken Miller, he's run just about every class that we've got here at Lanco over the past several years.
And something funny to watch is how Ken Miller's car is pushing. That's how Brett Haubecker loves his car to handle. He likes that car tight, so he's got to wheel that car. Ken Miller's used to a car that handles a little bit differently than the one he's driving right now.
And I'll tell you what, Mike, don't look now, but Ryan Wilson, Bradley Brown, and Sonny Schweitzer have used this slower traffic to their advantage. They have closed in on Ken Miller. We've got a 4-car battle for the number 2 position.
And I hate to prove you wrong, Barry, but Curtis R. Miller is working his way through traffic like a veteran. He's just picking them off, one by one.
We've got to be impressed. That's the only word to use. Very impressive run by the youngster in the 7R. Uh-oh, but here comes Ken.
Problems for Dave Grube, the second-place points cars on the infield.
Down the back stretch, there they are, first and second.
And third, fourth, and fifth.
With traffic in front of them. Yeah, absolutely. We talked off air that this might be one of the more interesting races of the night, and it is proving to be true.
And here comes Brad Brown. We've talked about it on these telecasts. He might be the fastest car on the track every week. And now this traffic.
Oh, boy.
They're going to have to part the seas, Barry.
Absolutely. Leader to the inside, sliding up the banking.
Somehow Miller is just threading the needle through this traffic. Now he's on the inside of 2-lap cars. He's in the wall.
Hit the guardrail. Oh, what a shame for Curtis R. He and Felicia Curlin.
And now we have a wreck at the off gate as well. Miller's car heavily damaged from that contact with the outside wall.
Ooh, big time.
That comes down to the experience thing that you were just talking about, Barry. He got a little over anxious trying to get through that traffic. But the key thing that happened there was Wilson and Miller got caught behind the lap car, and I think Sonny Schweitzer passed them both.
Here we're going to see it. Look at that. They are 3 wide with Curtis trying to put those other 2 cars a lap down.
You could see Schweitzer there was right behind Miller. So
yeah, Schweitzer had taken over second from Ken Miller.
And he did that right before that yellow flag came out. So
But the 72 of Kenny Miller worked his way back in front of Schweitzer just before the caution. See, that axle is bent. The front axle on the 7R bent badly. We had a good look at a glimpse of it there as Curtis Miller went by the cameras.
Just got the call. Sonny Schweitzer is the race leader. So Schweitzer, he made the move at the right time, right when he needed to get there. And that's how that traffic plays into things. And don't look now, but the point leader's in third. Jesse Maurer started 11th. And even through all that traffic and all that chaos, has driven his way to third. Example of a driver you could have started in the parking lot tonight. He'd probably be in the top 5.
He is. He has quietly been working his way to the front. Just some fantastic racing, though. Among the top 5 there, weaving their way, negotiating the lap traffic.
Yeah, that's what it is. Mind-boggling how they were making some of those holes work. And I mean, Curtis R. Miller only made one mistake the whole race.
Correct.
Just unfortunately, that's the one that's going to cost him.
It bit him, yeah, big time.
Right
7R on the hook now.
Right before that, he had made a brilliant move coming off this turn to pretty much put his car into one car length space that was available behind those cars that he ended up tangling with in 1 and 2. Just shows how little room there is for error.
Sonny Schweitzer has driven like the veteran he is. Great ride for the number 90, driver out of York, Pennsylvania. Was trailing Ken Miller, but got by the 72 of Miller there just before the yellow. We weren't sure. I thought the 90 was ahead as they crossed the line just prior to that caution, but I guess Miller snuck when sneaking back around him after the yellow. Schweitzer will be the leader, though, as we get set to go back to green. 5 laps remaining. Sonny Schweitzer, Ken Miller, Jesse Maurer, the top 3. Then it's Bradley Brown in 4th, the 29, Ryan Wilson 5th, and Shane Braxton, the 35 car.
Miller and Schweitzer made contact. That could play into the hands of Jesse Maurer.
Miller to the inside with a nose out in front. Ken Miller back to the head of the field with 4 to go.
Here comes Brad Brown on the outside. If he can make the move on the top. Oh, we got a tangle. Shane Braxton looks like he might have just blew up as his car locked up right in front of the field.
That'll put us under yellow. One more time. 21 complete.
That could make for a very interesting restart because there was what Sonny Schweitzer is going to consider a lot of contact and what Ken Miller is going to consider very little contact between the two of them for the race lead. And now they've swapped positions for the restart.
Yeah, makes you wonder if Schweitzer's going to try to return the favor.
Not that race car drivers do that. But it does tend to happen.
Shane Braxton had worked his way to the 6th position. Troubles for Shane, as you mentioned. He's pushed back to the pit area. Single file. Restart. One car is slow in corner number 1. The 5 of Devin Garman. So we'll have to get a 4-wheeler over there to assist Devin.
Hard to watch on the restarts. It depends on where Jesse Maurer goes. If he goes to the top, he could be the car to watch. But Brad Brown was the one that went to the top on the last restart. And he had a lot of momentum coming off this turn. So we'll see if he's able to make the move around the outside. And with 4 laps to go, you never know what could happen. We've seen some pretty crazy things tonight.
Which is one of the great things about short track, dirt track racing. Expect the unexpected.
And I think that plays in this race. Because, I mean, Ken Miller, it's not like this is a regular ride for him in this car.
No. No, although it is the car that won the point title in this class just a couple of years ago.
See the issues on the 5 cars that pushed it back behind the wall.
All right, field will see the 1 to go signal this time. You see Tim Garrett there pointing over at the cone on the backstretch.
Restart's going to be crucial. Only 4 laps to go.
Schweitzer, is he laying back a little bit?
I think he tried.
Yeah. Make a run off turn 4, but Miller out to a pretty nice advantage there on the restart. Jesse Maurer on the attack now, working to the inside of Sonny Schweitzer. Battle for the number 2 position.
Every position matters for Jesse Maurer because it could be a very profitable points night.
Yeah, Maurer will take over second, and Schweitzer is slow. Field scrambling behind the number 90. What a tough break for Sonny Schweitzer.
Eric Miller into the top 5 in the 7 car. He was there, and then he had fallen out, and now he's worked his way back. Yeah,
good, strong run for the number 7 here tonight. Good to see.
White flags on Ken Miller. One more trip around. Well, runner-up in the last one to a car that was driven by the driver that won the last race. So I guess when you figure that all in, it's only expected that Ken Miller takes the victory. Ken Miller taking the win in this 125 feature event that gave us quite the show here tonight. Can't complain about the racing that we just saw. It was tight. Little room for error, there's no doubt about that.
So the 4th of our 5 main events in the books now here at Lanco's Clyde Martin Speedway this evening. There's your top 3 finishers parked on the front straightaway. We'll talk to them right after these messages.
Welcome back to Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway. We have just completed the 125 feature event, and Barry Angstad's going to have a word with the top 3 from that crazy race we just saw.
Yeah, we're down here talking to 3rd place finisher Ryan Wilson. And Ryan, we were just mentioning, got a little nuts out there, didn't it?
I don't know if even nuts is the word for it. It was just cars everywhere, and you didn't know where to turn left or turn right. But hey, to finish 3rd, I'm happy. We've had motor problems all year, so I'll take a 3rd place finish.
Real nice job. You were there, then you drop back a little bit. You'd race your way back toward the front, but the car was good tonight. And who do you need to thank?
I got to thank my car owner, Gary, and his wife. Also, my sponsors, Pork Producers, Harrington's Auto Body, Gary's Automotive. Just if it wasn't without them, we wouldn't be here.
Ryan Wilson, strong run, finishing third. Let's get the runner-up around the back of his car now. Jesse Maurer finishing second. Good points night. What else do we need to say?
Yeah, I was just trying to survive. It felt like an obstacle course sometimes, but we got through it, and happy with this finish. I saw Bradley was fourth there. I knew it was going to get tough towards the end. I didn't even realize Ryan got him back. But, yeah, it was a good night. Got to thank the two sponsors Ryan forgot, Calico Plumbing and Heating and Star and Evans.
All right, we got the whole list in now, right? Way to go. Jesse Maurer, the runner-up. You're just out here after every race tonight. Ken Miller, the 72 in victory lane. Tell us about that restart with where you made the winning pass.
Yeah, I got to apologize to Sonny. I tried to do a crossover on him, and the bumper caught his bumper, and we got tangled there. I apologize for that. I think I was fast enough to get him. I just hate to do it like that. The car was super fast. I was trying to get Curtis in lap traffic, but give him enough room to win if he could. So I was rooting for him.
I think we all were, Kenny. But what a heartbreaker. He's going to get there. He's going to get there.
I mean, I think he led 18 laps. I think was the lap when everything happened. And it was hard to catch him. He's getting a lot better week after week. Thanks.
Absolutely, and congratulations again, Ken Miller in victory lane. Mike, what are they going to choose as the replay of the race for this one?
I don't know. We'll take a look at the top 5 first before we get there. Ken Miller for the win over point leader Jesse Maurer. Ryan Wilson comes home in third, Brad Brown fourth, and Derek Miller with a great finish rounds out the top 5. Now we'll head to the man contracting replay of the race, and it's going to be of that heartbreaking crash. Curtis Miller right there, the race leader on the inside of the screen in the 7, tangles with the 2-lap cars, tried to make the save, but he's up in that loose stuff, and it's really hard to get the car to turn. Makes contact with the outside wall, ending his bid for the win. But it's definitely a night that team can build off of, and you saw Sonny Schweitzer and the eventual winner Ken Miller pass on the inside on the way to a great battle for the victory.